Once upon a time, there was a shepherd, and the shepherd went to the auction mart to buy himself some sheep. He got 100 sheep for $100. Yes, they were cheap sheep. He put them in his trailer and took them back home, and he left them in the field. And he told them, stay in this field. Then he went off to have a nice cup of coffee. Now the sheep were in the field and they were eating their grass, and one of the sheep said to himself, I don't want to stay here, I want to find some better grass. So he found a hole in the fence and he basically ran away. And he wandered and wandered and wandered and wandered and wandered and wandered. And he looked and he looked and he looked for nice fresh grass. And he went a long way. He went over mountains. He went through streams. He went through valleys and he went over hills. And he was looking for the perfect piece of grass. And eventually he found himself some grass. There was a beautiful, beautiful field. And he looked at the grass and he said to himself, "Brrr! Delicious, this is nice fresh grass." So he started to eat the grass. And he ate and he ate and he ate. And he ate and he ate and he ate and he was getting full. What he didn't realize, there was a great big bush in front of him. And as he got closer and closer and closer, he was getting closer to that bush. And eventually, "Brrr, help, help, I'm stuck." He was stuck in the bush and he couldn't get out. And he shouted, "Brrr, brrr, brrr, help, help, I'm stuck." But nobody was there to listen. Meanwhile, the farmer, the shepherd, after he'd had his cup of coffee, he went to look at his sheep. And he looked over the gate and he looked at them all and he thought to himself, one of the sheep is missing. Where's he gone? Where can he be? So he went back, put on his wellies, and he went out to look for his sheep. And he walked over mountains and he walked through rivers. He walked through valleys and he walked through streams, looking everywhere for his sheep. Where can he be? And he looked 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 and he couldn't see him anywhere. Then suddenly in the distance he noticed something. It was big, it was fluffy, and it was white. It was his sheep. And when the sheep noticed the shepherd, he shouted out, "Brrr, brrr, help, help, I'm stuck." So the farmer went over to the shepherd. He cut him out of the bush, picked him up, and carried him back home on his shoulders. And the sheep learned a valuable lesson that day. Listen to the shepherd. Sometimes we can be like that sheep. We go our own way, we do our own thing. If only we'd listen to the shepherd. But the shepherd is always there, wanting and willing to bring us back home. You can come back to the shepherd today.